Russia's emergencies ministry says it needs the help of local people to rebuild South Ossetia's devastated infrastructure. Progress is being made and the water supply to the capital Valley has almost been fully restored. Another key task is to repair broken windows before cold weather sets in. According to officials, some 15,000 people who fled the city have returned over the last week. For more on what's going on in the South Ossetian capital, we can cross live to our correspondent there, Natalia Novikova. Hello, Natalia. Well, it will require effort and time to rebuild the city, and it came under heavy fire for several days, and obviously there are still a lot of unexploded shells lying around. What's being done to dispose of all of them and ensure people's safety?
Well, Olga, local officials are being looked after by Russian emergency service workers. However, they are still threatened as explosions continue to take place across South Ossetia. But that is because Russian combat engineers are on mine neutralizing mission currently, and they continue to find unexploded mines and artillery shells across South Ossetia. Locals' reaction to the pullback of Russian troops from Georgia was also negative. They fear with Russian forces out of the region, Georgia might attack again. So locals, as you understand, don't feel completely safe here yet. But for those who do come back, fresh water supplies are now back to normal, and electricity supplies is partially restored, mainly for social facilities like hospitals and local bakery, the only one functioning here at the moment. We also have information that Russia will spend $60 million by the end of this year to help the reconstruction of infrastructure of South Ossetia. And now Chechen Republic has also joined the humanitarian aid program for the region, providing food and construction materials, mainly such as window glasses, very much needed here right now, as according to local officials, some 20% of buildings in Khin Valley were either partly destroyed or completely destroyed during the war.
Well, the military operation is over, but the war of words continues. What was it like for journalists covering this war?
Well, in the beginning, it was only Russian journalists who were covering the events here, and they had to be hiding in basements with locals as the war was on. And that's including Russia Today crew of journalists who spent a couple of days in the basement, in one of the basements in Khin Valley. Today, however, foreign journalists received accreditation. Many of them received accreditation to work here, and they're now being provided with guided tours from local officials who show them the scale of damage and devastation here in South Ossetia. Now, all the journalists are based here where I'm reporting from right now. This is a Russia emergency service station, and journalists here are also being provided with humanitarian aid and fresh water. However, we have information that 4 journalists were killed during the war, and some 10 other journalists were severely injured.
Thank you for that update, Natalia, and stay safe for us. That was our correspondent, Natalia Novikova, reporting live from the South Ossetian capital, Khin Valley.